Hi, my name is Carsten Kasper and I'm the chair of Gartner's Risk and Security Summit in London in September. This event brings together risk managers, IT security officers and some related professionals with about 24 Gartner analysts. That's the folks that research technology and market trends, draw magic quadrants and Gartner hype cycles, and, well, once in a while we present at conferences. Here we'll have more than 50 sessions and 5 tracks on all sorts of risk and security topics like cloud security, GRC, key risk indicators, mobile security, etc. And there's also a show floor for vendors of security and risk products. So overall, it's a 2-day event in the center of London with about 400 people attending. And I thought I'd take the opportunity to introduce some of our speakers and let them explain what they will be presenting this year. Let us first turn to Paul Proctor. Paul, you are Chief of Research. What is that and what does it mean for the conference?
As Chief of Research, I spend a lot of time on the end-user agenda and helping organizations build mature risk and security programs. We built a model around this that we call Run, Grow, and Transform. When you're running your program, you're establishing it and operating it. This includes tasks such as building a process catalog and a controls framework. In growing, you work to measure and improve the program. Here, a maturity assessment can be used to identify gaps and opportunities for improvement. Finally, when we get to transformation, now we can address elements that are only available at the highest levels of maturity. These will help you integrate with the non-IT parts of the business. In the talk, we'll discuss activities like relating risk and security to corporate performance. The Run, Grow, and Transform model can help guide your investment at these different levels to create the most appropriate program for your organization. Another hot topic with our clients is Cyberinsurance. We've seen a significant increase in the interest of Cyberinsurance over the last couple of years, but Gartner remains skeptical. Despite all of the insurance companies that are jumping into this market, many of them have little or no experience with technology or security. In addition, many of the organizations interested in Cyberinsurance are looking for all the wrong reasons, like using it as a replacement for a good security program or a knee-jerk response to all the newspaper headlines about cyber attacks. The sales pitch can be intense, but if you're looking for it, I recommend you stop by this session and learn about our 10 considerations before purchasing Cyberinsurance.
Our next guest is Tom Scholes. Tom, what's your coverage area and what are you going to talk about in London?
I primarily cover information security and risk management strategy issues, things like organization, program management, governance, etc. As a function of my coverage, I do spend quite a bit of time reviewing information security strategy documents for our customers. And the third quarter of every year seems to be the busiest when it comes to strategic planning activities in our client base. So I think one of the interesting sessions that I will be delivering at the Security and Risk Management Summit in London will be specifically on security strategic planning best practices. I will be sharing some information on the basic fundamental principles of good strategic planning, the fundamentals, the elemental stuff. But then I will specifically highlight those characteristics that are unique to information security management. I will also be sharing some techniques and some approaches that we've developed with clients over the last 12 months or so that wanted to become more proactive in their security management strategies and their security management programs. These are organizations that wanted to become more lean forward in their approach to security management. They want to become more proactive in the way they plan for changes in the technology environment, changes in the threat and attack environment, and obviously also in the economic and business environment. So I think that is certainly going to be an interesting session where I will be able to share a lot of the learning and a lot of the lessons learned from amongst our client base.
Thanks, Tom. So we'll have quite some material for our management level audience. Now let's move over to the technology side. Mario de Boer is one of our analysts in that space. Mario, let's start with some simple technology that everybody uses. How secure is a web browser these days?
If you're like me, then you use your web browser, well, possibly even multiple browsers, for a variety of tasks. Well, it's probably the application that I launch most frequently each day. I use it to check my webmail, to access social network sites, corporate applications, and to do my e-banking. So here's this complex application that most of us use, accessing potentially malicious sites and at the same time processing enterprise-sensitive information. We're really talking about an ideal target for exploitation here. That's the first observation. Now, add to that the exciting developments that are taking place. We have HTML5, which is being implemented by sites and by browsers, and we have actually many more new developments that are taking place. This is something that Gartner refers to as the new web. So we have this interesting target, which is the web browser, and we add to that an environment which changes all the time, which is the new web. And that's really what my talk is all about. So how can we defend our browsers and in the end the data and the users in this quickly changing environment that to a large degree is hostile?
Thanks, Mario. Let's now turn to John Gerard. John, you cover mobile security and there's really a lot to talk about. Let's keep it very brief, please. Just give us your 30-second sales pitch. Why do people want to come to your talk?
My topic is mobile and remote access security. I know that you want to take advantage of the opportunities to work anywhere and anytime and bring your own device. You face the challenge to keep up with the expanding risks of data loss and network attacks on systems that cannot be trusted nor fully managed. I will help you understand your emerging risks on smartphones and tablets so that you can keep your business running smoothly and far away from the bad news headlines. Please ask me for help in selecting vendors and establishing best practices for mobile device management, application containerization, wireless security, remote access VPNs, and mobile data protection.
Thanks, John. Let's go back to Mario. You have also something on mobility and bring your own device initiatives, although from a slightly different angle.
Imagine mobility and imagine bring your own device initiatives. So imagine all these people wanting to work from everywhere with any device. To cope with such situations, we see organizations that are looking for solutions such as server-hosted virtual desktops, or maybe you call them VDI. And the interesting thing here is that these solutions are not only interesting from a user perspective and from a general IT, well, even user perspective, but they also bring interesting opportunities to security. Because instead of sprawling all your data to each and every endpoint, with server-hosted virtual desktops, you keep the data locked away in the data center. And you keep full control over who has access to your data and at what moment in time. But of course, as with any new IT solution that you will deploy, you introduce new risks. So what I will do in my presentation is look at the security benefits of client virtualization solutions and then look at the new risks that are introduced when you initiate all this. And finally, we'll spend some time on countermeasures. And this gives us a good overview of the risks of client virtualization solutions.
Thank you for this little sneak preview. There's more to come in a few weeks at our event in London, where we cover more topics like advanced persistent threats and how to protect your organization, cloud security, of course, and then the whole area of risk management, governance, and compliance. We'll look at application security, data security, security intelligence, some IAM topics, and most importantly, ways of measuring and documenting security controls so that you're able to communicate to management why all these efforts are necessary and how this actually protects the business and enables increased revenue. Hope to see you in London. Take care.